Shalom to you, like giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Shemel Shai, Beshem Kakadashin, giving double honors to the elder apostles, your elder bishops, the great millstone, well, peace and salutation to the elect. Shemel Mappa is a Mappa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. It's coming with another wee lesson. You have it here. This was a current event a couple of days ago, and still is relevant. Yeah, the governor of Pennsylvania, which is Josh Shapiro, which I believe he's a small hat. He had his house burnt down. Now, this is through the spirit. I didn't know what his house would be, but I was like, yeah, it must have been a mansion. And it actually was. All right. I have different news sources here. CNN, of course, fair use warning. This is only for educational purposes only. It's not for any purposes of monetary gain. Only for journalism, educational purposes. Fair use warning. You have it here. There was a particular man that was arrested. It was basically have it as an arson. Okay, we'll play the video off of CNN.
This is becoming far.
Ads.
This kind of violence is becoming far too common in our society. And I don't give a damn if it's coming from one particular side or the other. Directed at one particular party or another, or one particular person or another. It is not okay. And it has to stop.
Really strong words there from Governor Josh Shapiro. We are learning new details this hour about the shocking political attack in Pennsylvania. The home of Governor Josh Shapiro set on fire early Sunday morning while the governor and his family were inside sleeping. Today, investigators revealing new details about the suspect, including plans that he had if, in fact, he had come into direct contact with Shapiro. Let's get right to CNN's Danny Freeman. He's live for us in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Danny, these pictures are just so hard to look at. Governor Shapiro, obviously, has been someone who has a very straightforward and pragmatic messaging on men.
Got pianos burnt, couches burnt. Pretty sure a lot of this was probably antique and elegant. Probably a lot of money on it.
A political topic, and I think you could really hear in his voice the conviction that he has around this. What more are we learning about the person who did this, why they did it, and how we ended up here?
Yeah, Casey, you can hear the conviction in his voice and also the genuine concern for his family and others who were inside the house when this fire started. Like you noted, we got a lot of new details today about exactly what happened. So let's start with the suspect here and how police believe he got inside of the residence behind me. We're talking about 38-year-old Cody Balmer, and police say that on Saturday night...
The guy automatically name is Bomber. Okay. Which Balmer, B-L-M-E-R, not Bomber, or Balmer, okay? 30 years old, 8 years old. Look like a so-called white guy. Probably look a little bit amongst those type of characters that are more so hippie-ish, and a lot of these people like this person probably look like an anti-government type of person, but you have it actually the person when he did this, it actually was as they going into it when the those of course juices celebrating their Passover, okay, which we already did, of course, our Passover and such. But you know, you had, I guess he had something going on, people over, and you had this guy pull an arson off. And he had intent to do more, okay, damage, as they're telling you.
Overnight into Sunday morning, they believe that bomber actually jumped this fence right over here, got access to the governor's residence grounds, and on him he was carrying a bag with beer bottles filled with gasoline inside of them. Now this is all while the governor and his family were sleeping. This man bomber, according to police, then went over to this building behind me. It's in the southwest corner, not thankfully where the governor and his family were sleeping. He broke a window, threw a makeshift Molotov cocktail into the building, broke another window with a hammer that he brought with him, climbed into the residence himself, and threw a second incendiary device inside of the building as well. He then, Casey, was able to escape by jumping back over the fence, but this is where the story kind of takes a remarkable turn. On Sunday, he actually turned himself into police. He went to Pennsylvania State Police Headquarters. It's a massive complex right here in Harrisburg. And he essentially, according to court documents, confessed to the crime and admitted that he was the one who set fire to this particular building. But this is perhaps the most chilling part about that. When he was speaking to investigators, again, according to court documents, police asked him, as you noted, what was your plan if you had encountered Governor Shapiro inside of his residence? And he told police he would have, quote, beaten him with his hammer. But Casey, one of the troubling parts also about this case is that when it comes to motive, we still really don't have a ton of information. In those court documents, he told investigators that he had a general hatred toward Governor Shapiro, but still there's no more larger evidence as to what made him jump over that fence and set fire to the governor's residence, no less on the first night of Passover on Saturday, Casey.
Well, all we know is that we got a small hat, we got a flyer, we got a person, and you know, you can see, you know, the guy, you know, you look kind of crazy, but I'm doing the lesson more so to bring out the fact that in prophecy, which we're stating biblical prophecy, that is, these different events would occur. And this is just more so a precursor of what's going to happen for the future. You know, these things of this sort, you know, would happen, the scriptures talk about. So, as, you know, things in society continue to degenerate more, or, you know, decline, and these things are going to happen and ramp up, you know, because a lot of these different individuals, you know, they're not happy with the way the system works and how it goes. And definitely the leaders that are whom they are supposed to look to for change and reform and help, well, you know, they actually are coming against these people. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, meaning destruction, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Is the point, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In their course of their action shall stand in their power. Okay, you see these different seditions amongst men. Okay, which that was a sedition. Okay, you know, you got these insurrections that's going on amongst these individuals that just don't like, of course, how things are going. Okay, that's a major consensus you can put in the current political spectrum here in Babylon the Great. A lot of the people just are not happy. Okay, and they're seeing America continue to downgrade, all right, and become, of course, a hellhole. Okay, so they coming against these different leaders that are supposed to be improving the place. Okay, and that's simple. All right, I'm gonna go to 18. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." And there you go, right there. You got this guy's house was destroyed. And all these people have much pride. Okay, so we seeing biblical prophecy continue to go forth. I got another guy affected, and he looked like he was really upset. So we're gonna call that a lesson through the spirit for now, and I'll stay up with some more updates. Shalom to you, like.